Many thanks for your time here on Joy News Desk, and we can start with the very first story and the big one for today. And the Coalition of Domestic Observers, CODEO, has deployed some observers to the Wasa Amenfi area for the ongoing by-election. But prior to that, the coalition has also been observing the pre-election environment since Wednesday, December 9, 2015. We'll be bringing you much more on this. We'll be speaking to CODEO, we'll be speaking to the coordinator of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. But before then, we can now go to the Western region and speak to our correspondent on this beat, William Benjamin Peters. He is actually, he is on the grounds monitoring the Amenfi West by-elections, and he earlier spoke with one of the presiding officers, Moro Yusuf, who explained some of the difficulties they have been facing so far.
Of this polling center?
This is Khalid JSS Sankegua.
Okay, and how many voters are expected here?
The total number of registered voters in this polling station, there are 732.
Okay. And how many has voted so far?
So far, 27 have cast their vote.
Okay.
But others were here, but their names were not in this register because they didn't know their right police station to go. They are come here with different police station codes. So I think, as a presiding officer, my advice to the Electoral Commission and the general public is that, particularly the NCC, is that we have to educate the register for them to know where the code, about the code, that if you have a police station code, for example, A16020, this is Kali GSS. So if you come and you have been voting, so they should notify the electorate about the changes that has taken place from time to time.
Okay. So what happened to such people?
We direct them to go to the right police station to vote, because we have gone for training, so we know most of the police station code around our area. Okay. So we direct them to go there. For example, here, this is Kali GSS, and the next police station is Asekte Junction. The next one is Court. This is Court here, and then another one is the Mikado. So I have those codes in my head, and so when I look at your ID card, I direct you to where you have to go and then vote.
So that was an interview with one of the electoral officers there by our correspondent Benjamin Peters, William Benjamin Peters, on the ground. We'll be touching base with him shortly to get an update on the situation there as we speak. But let me bring you excerpts of that CODEO observation report that I spoke to you about. So there's a statement, a CODEO statement on the pre-election environment, and just bits and pieces of it here. It says CODEO has noted preparations being made by the Electoral Commission towards the conduct of this election, which includes training of poll officials, deployment of election materials, and voter education activities. Now, visible voter education posters have been seen in most communities within the constituency. Now, it goes on to say, CODEO has also noted the complementary roles being played by other stakeholders, such as churches and local radio, in sensitizing the electorates about the elections. Now, the Breman and Asankrogwa branches of the Catholic Church, for instance, as well as local radio station Royal FM, have been educating voters about the elections and the need to eschew any forms of violence during the process. Now, with regards to the atmosphere of campaigning, CODEO has observed intensive campaigning by candidates, political party executives, and supporters who have been engaging in various forms of campaign strategies, such as door-to-door campaigning, posters, keep-fit activities, rallies, and radio programs to spread their campaign messages. Now, in particular, representatives of the four parties contesting political parties, that's the New Patriotic Party, the National Democratic Congress, the Progressive People's Party, and the United Front Party, have been busily campaigning for votes. Now, CODEO commends all the candidates and their supporters who have so far conducted themselves well in their campaign and generally abstained from the use of abusive language, especially as the NPP held its rally on Sunday, December 13 at Asankrogwa, and the NDC did the same at Samreboy at the same period. Now, no violent incident has been recorded so far. While commending all stakeholders for their conduct in the pre-election environment, CODEO wishes to remind all to do same on polling day on Wednesday, December 16. So essentially, these are just bits and pieces of the statement by Cordeo, and I told you we'll be bringing you much more on this. And I've been joined over the telephone lines now by Mr. Albert Ayin, who is Cordeo coordinator, and he's joining us with much more on this. So, Mr. Ayin, good morning. Many thanks for your time here on News Desk. Mr. Ayin, if you can hear me, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on News Desk.
Hey. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Ayin?
I'm not hearing you well. Please be loud, a little bit loud. Hello?
Okay, so we'll try and work the lines there.
Carry on, I'm listening.
So you can hear me now, great. So if you can hear me, now, what did you gather from your pre-election day observation? Now, I have read bits and pieces of it, but what else did you gather?
Hey, I'm not hearing you.
Okay, so we seem to be having a few technical challenges there. We'll work on that and bring you much more subsequently. You're still watching News Desk here on Joy News Multi TV, and we'll be bringing you a lot more stories, including business and sports, like I mentioned to you earlier. But time for us now to take a break. We'll be back shortly with some more. Thank you very much for staying with us here on News Desk. We can do that particular story now and go onto the phone lines and speak to the National Coordinator of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, Mr. Ayin, who joins us live now over the telephone. Mr. Ayin, I hope the lines are better now. Can you hear me? Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I hope you're fine too. So we have seen your reports, the one you presented on the pre-election day.
You have seen the report.
Exactly. Okay. But what else did you gather apart from this particular piece you put together?
Yes, we told you we settled here. We came here on Sunday. We had a 3-man observation team. They've gone round, and what we said was that everything was going on smoothly. The churches were helping, the parties were cooperating. There's no violence anywhere now. And the Electoral Commission has also trained its people, and all other materials for the elections have been dispatched. We, Cordeo, have also trained our people, and we are doing it in 40 polling stations, randomly picked. And this morning we started going around, and our report will come out in midday. We're going to give a midday report. But for now, there's nothing to talk about but the fact that the election is going on smoothly. There's no violence. There's nothing like shortages. All the machines are working very, very well. So Cordeo will come out with a midday report. So maybe you should be expecting that one.
Great. Well, now we're told of delays in the start of the elections in some particular areas. I don't know whether your observers have given you any such information.
Well. You know, this place, the terrain here is quite difficult.
Okay.
So if there's a delay in 1 or 2 police stations, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
It is not a smooth terrain. Okay? There are areas where vehicles cannot go. Men will have to walk and send items there. So if you heard of any delay in the start of a poll, then it's not surprising.
I see. So, let me ask now, in your pre-election day observation, did you at all come across this issue of vote buying, or the MPP did make some allegations and some accusations against the ruling party? Vote buying.
Vote buying?
Exactly.
No, I haven't seen anything like that. Or at least our observers have not reported anything like that to us.
So there's no such thing from your end? You haven't come across any? Yes, exactly.
No. We always want to have a concrete evidence. You see, our observers will report to us when they have laid their hands on something concrete. If it's a rumor, we don't rely on rumors. Okay?
Right.
It could be a rumor, but even if it's a rumor, our people have not reported anything like that to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Ms. Ayin, we will touch base with you at midday for some more on this particular one.
Yes, our midday report will come.
Great. And
thank you.
He is actually the National Coordinator of the Coalition for Domestic Election Observers, and he joined us over the telephone with much more on that particular report they presented a while ago. But let's now touch base with our correspondent on this beat. William Benjamin Peters is joining us live from the Western region. William, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
So tell us how voting has been so far. I mean, since it started, how have things been?
Everything is unfortunate thing is that some confusion.
I'm sorry, but I think we lost you there a bit. If you could recap what you said earlier.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying everything is in order, but the only unfortunate thing is some confusion that broke up. Yes.
Okay. So we seem to have a few challenges with our phone lines there. But William Benjamin Peters, if you can hear me now, can you hear me now? Yes. So you were telling me about confusion in some parts of the constituency? Okay. We might have to work the lines and bring him back on so we can complete this story. We are still watching News Desk here on Joy News Multi TV. We are taking a break. We'll be back shortly with some more. Welcome back to News Desk here on Joy News Multi TV. Now we can go back to the Western region and speak to our correspondent William Benjamin Peters on an update. So we are trying to get an update on that particular election, by-election I might say, at Amenfi West. So William, if you can hear me, you were earlier telling me about some violence in some parts of the constituency.
Yeah, Chencheni, like I was telling you earlier on, some misunderstanding broke out at one of the polling centers known as Asankra Breman JHS polling center over the missing voters register. According to the EC official that I spoke to, they got the electoral items yesterday, but they opened it this morning to find out that the voters register wasn't included in the materials that were brought to them. So upon their inquiry, it was revealed that the voters register has rather been mistakenly taken to another voters center, and as a result, the voters are still piled up at the center. Voting actually started at 9:30 instead of the given time of 7 o'clock a.m. So that brought about some confusion between the electorate and the electoral officers. And again, some of the electorates are also alleging that, especially those from the camp of the MPP, they are alleging that that particular center is perceived to be the stronghold of the NDC. So they are suspecting some fishy play somewhere, and as a result, there was some agitation on their part, as well as those on the other side of the NDC also defending what has happened. So that is what is actually happening here. But the fortunate thing is that the police quickly came in and calm is being restored as I speak to you now. So
as things stand now, they have their register. Their voting has begun. You said it started at 9:30.
It started at 9:30 instead of 7 o'clock.
And do we know whether or not there's going to be any extension due to the delays?
According to the electoral officer, the presiding member that I spoke to, he's saying if only they can finish with all the number of voters around. It's supposed to about 905 voters are supposed to take part in the ballot at that particular center. So he's saying that should they finish with all of them, I don't think they will extend the time. But if the need be, they will have to extend the time.
Tell us about voter turnout generally.
It's quite encouraging. As at 7:15, I visited about 3 centers, and they were recording 18, 24, and 30. Today is the market day at this particular area. So most of the market women showed up early to have cast their vote in order for them to go back to the market and continue their trading. So turnout is, I can say, is somehow high here.
Okay, so prior to this particular day, that's today, there were issues of vote buying being alleged by particularly the opposition MPP. And also, well, we also did see some developmental works going on quite strangely, quite recently. So are these all true, and to what extent?
Of course, the situation is a little bit dicey, just as you've explained. Yesterday, I strolled through town around 9 p.m., and unfortunately, there was doomsday here. But work was ongoing on some of the major town roads over here in Asankra. There were the asphalting of the overlays here. And other things, the NDP is also accusing the NDC of sharing goods among the illiterate and other things. But unfortunately...
just a second. Now, the NDC is sharing goods?
The NDC, that is what the MPP are alleging, that they are sharing goods, including cement and roofing sheets, among the illiterate. But I haven't seen such a thing happening. Okay. The only thing that I saw was the asphalting of the overlays of the town roads that was taking place at 9 p.m. last night. That is the only thing that I can confirm.
I see. But what was the situation this morning? Are those projects still ongoing, or they've been put on hold?
Oh, they've been put on hold.
Okay.
They've been put on hold.
Okay. Right. Many thanks for that update, William Benjamin Peters. And